Hello, Virgo creators. Welcome to Creators on the Crest. I'm Stephanie, and I'm bringing you a timeless reading today, meaning that you are finding it exactly at the most auspicious time for you to hear the messages that are contained within. Now, keep in mind, these are general readings, so take only what resonates. Today, we're going to pull your overall energy, and then we're going to have a look at your specific energy, the energy of the person or the situation connected to you, and then how those energies mingle and dance in the middle. We will close it off with some message cards for the Virgo community. Be sure to stay tuned at the end of the reading for more about the creators community and how to get involved. Okay, let's go, Virgo. Ooh, Virgo. You got number 13, the commitment card. The frequency of commitment supports our ability to devote ourselves in all aspects of our being with an unwavering belief. I love that. This feels very locked in. It feels like the energy is very locked in here. All right, let's take a look at how this is looking for you, this person you're connected to, and then how the energies are combined in the middle. You get the Queen of Pentacles, the Death card, and the Nine of Swords. And honestly, Virgo, this feels really good. I feel like the Queen of Pentacles energy is you. She is receptive. She is stable. She is grounded in. She is connected to nature. She's connected with natural rhythms. The vibe feels very good, very grounded, very you. Now, the Death card is a bit of Scorpio energy. You could have some of this in your chart, or you're going through a time of great transformation. And I want you to know that in this transformation, it feels like you're recognizing new sides of yourself, maybe even new versions of yourself. So you've up-leveled in some way. The Death card is the signifier card that makes it known that we've gone through the fires of transformation and we're coming out the other side. Now, you do have the Nine of Swords here. This isn't that uncommon for Virgo to have. I think this is overthinking. I think you're overthinking again, but you like to do that. We'll get some clarifiers on that. It being a minor arcana card, I don't think it's really going to cease or stop or slow down this transformation that you're going through. It's just one of those things, Virgo, where sometimes you have to take a step back, take a deep breath, and let it go, right? Music can help with that. Exercise can help with that. Breath work can help with that, etc. For the person connected to you, they get the Two of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Four of Cups. This person is full of loving energy. They love partnership, possibly with you, or friendship with you. They feel like they are a kindred spirit to you, someone that you can vibe with, someone you can hang out with. This could be romantic for some of you here, a romantic relationship. We do have commitment. Or it can be the commitment of like friends through time, where you're friends to one another and have each other's back. But this person's full of love. They seem like an entertainer to me, or someone who likes to welcome people, maybe cook for people, maybe make special things for people. They could be a crafter. Now, with this Four of Cups energy, it's kind of like your Nine of Swords. They get a little emotionally overwhelmed sometimes. I think there's times where they may feel a little closed off because they're emotionally overwhelmed, or they went a little bit too much into that entertainment mode, and they need to kind of step back and get their bearings. So at times you may feel them a little blocked off, but I think it has more to do with them needing to recover their energy than they don't want to be around you or don't want to be around other people, or their mood shifts in some way. In the connecting energies, you have the Ace of Swords and the Magician. This is a lot of intellectual stimulation. Virgo, that's so funny. I couldn't even get the right word because I was feeling the energy so strongly. This is a lot of intellectual stimulation between you and this other person. A lot of magic happens in this. I feel like the two of you have intriguing conversations that you can't have just every day or with everybody. I do feel like this particular magician is holding the cup and the sword. That's the love energies that I see over here, the cups energies in this other person. And then that's the sword energy that's on your side with that 9 of swords. And oh my gosh, so much energy is moving here. I'm almost losing my voice and losing my words, not in my throat, but from down deep. Some of you may be clearing out some of that lower gut energy. All right, whew. Virgo, let's look at this Queen of Pentacles for you now. The King of Cups. Oh, yes. Virgo is quite the lover too. And the 2 of Swords. Sometimes Virgo gets confused. The King of Cups is a card of leading, emotionally speaking. It's about one who has a lot of love to offer. But the 2 of Swords comes in and says, maybe they're not always offering that. There may be these times where you feel prompted to share your love, and you being in that grounded place with the Queen of Pentacles, it actually feels really good. But you have this little part of your brain that either is getting distracted or clicks into high gear. Maybe you're overthinking how to express emotionally, or you just get all tied up in, or tongue-tied even, some of you, in these energies, and you don't know how to express. And it feels like this happens to you even in your closest, most trusted relationships at times where you are like, well, what do I say? Or I want to do this, but it's because you are shifting gears from the heart to the mind instead of staying in the heart space. That King of Cups is inviting you, let's spend a little more time in the cup space. I know that can be hard for earth signs to spend all the lovey-dovey time feeling in the water and the emotions, because more than just happy emotions come, sad emotions come, grief comes up, right? But it's affecting your communication with others, and so it's something you need to take a look at there. Let's look at this Death card, this transformation for you, the 9 of Wands and the Hangman. It looks like you're doing some level of healing, ancestral healing, lineage, healing your lineage. It looks like there's some injury or some breakdown there. I like the Hanged Man with the Death card. I think it's a good energy. When you're working with those heavy transformational energies and you're coming out of that fire, the 9 of Wands would indicate action, but it's more of a defensive action. And I like that you're bringing in the Hanged Man energy, because I feel that you're taking a pause there and you're like, okay, I've come out of these intense fires of transformation. I've leveled up into this new individual. I'm a different person than I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And I need to get used to this new me with me before maybe I trot along and try to communicate or express to everyone else. So I can respect that. I can respect that you would want that little bit of pause there. Because in those pauses with the Hanged Man, we are hanging upside down at the tree of life. And that's a beautiful place to be. It's a very connected place. And it's a great place to gain clarity and put the pieces together for your next moves. Let's look at this 9 of Swords. Why are you overthinking things? Why? I understand you kind of default to the mind. You've got those mercurial energies going on with you. But you're also ruled by Chiron. And that's the wounded healer, which tells me emotions need attention too. So for the 9 of Swords, you got the 7 of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. So when you get into this place of overthinking or even I keep wanting to say stimulization. Did I just make up that word? I said it and messed it up before, because in the middle here we have intellectual stimulation, but I keep wanting to say stimulization. I have no idea where that's coming from. Maybe it means something to you, but you're overthinking something. Maybe I'm messing up the word because I'm overthinking just saying the word stimulate or stimulation, right? And what this does is it backtracks you a little bit. It's not the end of the world. You do have the Knight of Pentacles here. So I feel like you're always coming back to ground base and you're resetting your strategy, but it does slow you down. It seems to backtrack you, slow you down, and take you a little bit off course. Your job is to employ techniques and actual activities that help you detach from the mental space and move into the heart space. As I mentioned earlier, music will do that. Art will do that for some of you. Breath work will do that. Exercise will do that. Pulling you. If you're having trouble connecting to the heart, do something that gets your blood pumping, that gets your heart going, connects you in with your body. And then you can have a clearer vision coming out in that Knight of Pentacles. But it does slow you down. It does slow you down. I don't think it slows you down to the degree where it's like drastically influencing your life. But I also think with all the transformation you've been through, it's important for you to care for the self in this way before you try to give to everyone else. And I think with how you are usually in being very selfless and very giving to others and being in service to others, I think sometimes you forget about yourself and then you get stressed out and you overthink. And that's your indicator that you're not spending enough time for you, with you, okay? And this, you could be like, well, I haven't really hung out with anyone. This is you with your own thoughts, though. This is from the overthinking in the mind and dropping into the heart and the body more often, no matter who you're hanging out with or not hanging out with. Let's look at this Two of Cups for this other person. The Three of Swords and the Magician. Ooh, this person is showing me pain with the Three of Swords, but with the Magician showing up here, it's their ability to transmute pain. This person I could describe them as someone who has a high pain tolerance, someone who is patient with the healing process, someone who always holds healing, is always looking to heal another wounded place within themselves. So in relationships, that probably is expressed through their energy. And Virgo, this is the kind of person that if you're hanging out with them and you want to keep hanging out with them, you're going to be inspired to do the healing work. Now over here, I can see you went through something. You went through the fires of transformation here. You went through it. So that tells me you're on board with this. We've got the commitment as the overall energy. But yeah, this person stimulates a healing environment for themselves and those around them. Let's look at the Nine of Cups. This is kind of that entertainer kind of feeling, like opening their arms out. The King of Wands and the Lovers. This person has this really loving desire to build with you. They feel very passionately about that with the King of Wands coming in. You may be their King or Queen of Wands. They got the Lovers here too. And again, they give me that lovey-dovey. They're a lovey-dovey kind of feeling. They're happy to open up and embrace this relationship with you. They feel quite committed to you. They're also committed to healing, however, which is beautiful because this commitment energy is about the ability to devote ourselves in all aspects of our being with an unwavering belief. So I like that. They're committed to love. They're committed to healing. That's much better than someone who avoids it. I like this energy for you. If this is a lover, excellent. If this is a friend who you've walked a journey with, they definitely enjoy this friendship. All right, let's look at this Four of Cups. This is where they get a little checked out. The Temperance card and the Nine of Cups. Now, they had the Nine of Cups before, but the previous Nine of Cups felt like, hey, I welcome you. Come in. Let's share our emotions together. This Nine of Cups feels a little more closed off. The Temperance card is Sagittarius energy. This indicates to me that this person would ask you to just be patient with them when they feel a little bit more closed off. They're trying to regain their emotional stability. This could be the kind of person who wears their heart on their sleeve or is very, very sensitive, and so their emotions are impacted quite strongly by the energies around them. And they're saying, please just be patient with me. I will come back around. I just need to check out for a minute and go balance myself out until I can open my arms again to you and to everyone. So this person might value a little bit of alone time. All right. All right. Let's look at the connection here. This Ace of Swords, that intellectual stimulation. That new word that you've made up for me today. Intellectual stimulation. Oh, Virgo. So for the Ace of Swords, you bring in the Ace of Swords and they bring in the Page of Swords. Wow. I feel like they learn a lot from you, Virgo. I think they're open to learning. I think they are very curious about how you think, how you approach things from the mental energies. That would make sense since they're more in the lovey-dovey, watery, emotional energies most of the time. And you're happy to oblige, you're happy to come in and communicate. And I do feel like communication goes well. At times, if you do feel them with that page, they might feel or come off a bit naive at times, or that like they don't understand something, but just give them a minute. They just have a different way of approaching understanding. They have a more emotional approach. You have a more mental approach, and that's all that is. But they like it. They're curious, they're intrigued, and you're happy to oblige them in that. For the Magician, you bring in the energy of the Five of Cups. They bring in the Ace of Wands. This would be that transformative energy that I think this person influences on the people closest to them and the people around them. They kind of feel like a healing change agent to me. So with the Magician and the balance of the Cups and the Swords, they're kind of coming in with the wand saying, I'm going to light this up for you. I'm going to light this up. This is the fire. This is the torch that lights the fires of transformation. And that's making you feel a certain way. You appreciate and you love the magic, and you're very comfortable in the intellectual zone of this committed relationship or friendship. But when they bring that wand and they're trying to light shit up, like in a good way to do the healing work, you get a little bit about that. You feel a certain way about that, and it might make you feel like you need to kind of turn back into yourself. And maybe you do, but in your heart space, not in your mental space. Let's take a look at some messages for you from the Divine Essentials Counterparts Oracle. Now, some of these messages, one has already flipped out. Some of these will be appropriate for this relationship. Some will be related to a completely different person altogether, or a different situation altogether. When we get message cards, they can come out of the blue. They could be a message from the universe to you. They could be a message from your greater being to you, or they could come from some other relationship, person, time, or place. So keep that in mind. Use your intuition and your inner wisdom to know where to place these messages and who to place them with. Okay, so here, I do think this might come up in this committed relationship, because when we have a commitment and when we walk a long path with others, we're going to go through the ups and downs. Even though there's a lot of love and most of the time it's working out, there's going to be these times where things are hard. And it says here, I don't want to fight this anymore. So maybe there's been some uphill battles, or maybe the two of you have held back from each other at certain times and you just don't want to fight it anymore. Maybe this has to do with work for some of you. I don't want to fight up in this corporate ladder anymore. I don't want to fight this feeling that I need to get the hell out of there, right? Place this message where it feels most appropriate for you, but I'll just share what I'm getting. You also got past lovers. Healing resentments and wounds from past relationships will help to heal the connection between you and your divine counterpart. I'm going to say that again, Virgo, because you may or may not want to do that. Feel like this current person puts you in your heart space and they demand healing, and they're bringing that torch to light up the fires of transformation. It says, healing resentments and wounds from past relationships will help to heal the connection between you and your divine counterpart. Now, if you're not with someone, if this is an energetic connection that has not yet come into the physical, you need to work on this, Virgo. Healing up the past lovers, the resentments and wounds from past relationships. Because when it comes to the soulmate, the divine counterpart, the sacred connection, you don't want to be projecting those energies. I think this person is going to push you in that way, okay? This could be a friendship you have this lifetime, but you were lovers in the past. You could be healing your own relationship together, but doing it from a more platonic situation this go around. This works in different ways for different Virgos here, but amazing energies all the way around. So Virgo, be sure to join me every Friday here on the channel, 10 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time for Frequency Friday. We have a lot of different themes that we do. I do collective messages. It's just a high vibe tribe kind of thing. And I would love to have you there and commenting and enjoying the live chat. If you're working during that time, be sure to catch the replay. I'll have timestamps on there for everyone. And they're great ways to get an extra little reading that maybe you didn't know you needed. I'm also here on the channel live every other Sunday night from 7 to 8 Central Standard Time, okay? And I do live Q&A there. That's where you come on, you join and jump in the live chat and you get a mini reading. And it's a lot of fun. We have a great community there. They are so supportive. People are learning to ask the best questions and are getting such good mini readings out of that. It's like a power hour. I start at 7, I end at 8. And I'll do as many questions as I can. Be sure to drop in early so your question gets answered. I also will remind you to check out the description below. If you try to come on for a mini reading and you miss out, I have links to my one-on-one readings in the description, as well as links to social media. Follow me there on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Creators on the Crest. Instagram and Facebook stories for my business page will have, when I run specials, I run seasonal specials, which will be tarot readings at a discounted rate. Okay, so those of you who are a little tight on cash, but you want that little extra personal touch, that energy boost, you definitely want to take advantage of those. Those are usually time bound, so they're only run for a short time. Catch them while you can. And Virgo, thank you so much for joining. Invite a friend to the channel. Make sure you're participating with likes, comments, and subscribe by hitting the notification bell as well for all notifications so you don't miss a beat. I welcome you back the next go around, and I'll see you then.